Well, my freshman year I lived in Towers, which was absolutely horrible, except for that's where I met all my friends, just because it's such a concentrated space with so many people there.
Right.
You're really forced into being tight quarters with everyone, and where I lived after my freshman year was determined by my friends I made freshman year at Towers. So Towers was freshman year, and then sophomore year I lived on Grand Street, and all my friends from Towers lived on like Grand Street or University, like above the Rusted Musket. I lived across from Summit Hall. We were all kind of there in that little area, and then after sophomore year I got tired of dealing with noise all the time, being on Grand Street. So I moved behind the Dairy Mart off of Snyder Street, and that's when my friends from freshman year, we kind of started spreading out. And then senior year, I lived in that same area too, near the Dairy Mart. Then when I came here, I wouldn't say partying was like outrageous, but there were definitely plenty of available options for partying. Like I was never a stranger to partying, like from where I'm from. Like my friends in middle school and high school always had older siblings, so we would always like tag along to the parties and everything. But coming here and seeing it happen every night was just like surreal, at least for the first couple weeks, and then everything dies down throughout the semester. But walking down Grand Street and just party every other house, and God, being a freshman girl, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
Guys from the porch would be like, hey, go hang out, like go party, and having the wherewithal to be like either no or okay, like I'll go like drink a beer and then leave.
Yeah.
When you're younger and it's a new thing to you, it becomes the norm almost. Like it becomes a part of your day-to-day experience at school, and no matter how hard you try to fight it at first, curiosity takes over at a certain point, and that's when you start and going to bars that are 18 and over, and they're like, you can't drink unless you're 21.
Yeah.
Please. The cellar, hello,
Yeah.
everyone drinks in there. Like me and my friends would always go to Shooters freshman year because we knew we could go in there and get drinks, for 75 cents.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, partying was just readily available. I was going to try out for the soccer team, and then I got mono, and that never happened after that.
Okay.
It was horrible. And I got mono from a house party playing beer pong, drinking out of cups that other people were drinking out of.
Okay.
So I guess you can say my grades suffered after I got mono because I never went to class. I guess you can attribute that to me being at a party and drinking out of solo cups that other people were drinking out of. Going out to the bars and staying up till 4 in the morning and then waking up for your 8:30 class.
Yeah.
Like that's something freshmen do all the time.
Right.
I cannot do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let's party, let's be number one. You took pride in that you could go home from school with good grades and still brag to your friends that you were number one party school and you had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But now, I don't think we just got Playboy's number one party school spot. I feel like the university now, from when I was a freshman, is just different. Like if you walk down High Street on a Tuesday night, there's really nothing going on. Whereas when I was a freshman, you'd walk down on a Tuesday or Wednesday night and there were just people everywhere, both sides of the street. So I don't know. I kind of got out of the whole house party thing once I turned 21. So I don't know if there are just more house parties now that people are going to rather than spending money at bars, or if partying has just subsided. But I don't think the partying is as big as it was when I was in school. But I mean, we still got the number one spot. So I don't know. Part of me feels like the university is trying way too hard to mandate no partying. I mean, a lot of it has to do with, students go away to school and their parents aren't there. No one's telling them what to do. No one's waking them up every morning. They can do what they want.
Right.
It's like, I feel like that's a huge reason they started tearing down Grand Street, all the houses there, and they're starting to put up apartments and student housing and everything. It's because they're trying to prevent the Sunnyside area from being a party zone that has been a party zone for years and years and years, and they want to stop that. But if you move it from one place, it's just going to go to another place. Students are going to do what they want regardless of what you tell them to do. They're putting too much of a focus on punishment of students. Like too much of a focus on, they're trying to scare students into not partying. Which I'm not saying students should be partying all the time, but if the university is trying to instill fear in them, saying, you know, you'll be expelled. Like, I'm no stranger to underage citations. I got 2 when I was living on Grand Street, just for living on Grand Street and drinking beer, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, the fines are outrageous, and they make you go to these, like, classes where all you do is watch that show Intervention. Like, that's going to change your opinion on anything, you know?
Right.
And you have to go see a counselor and talk about your drinking problem, even though you may not have a drinking problem. You're just having a few beers with your friends and we're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just like, we're all adults here.
Yeah.
You know, we should be able to make our own decisions. It's like telling people you can't swim in the ocean after dark because you're not allowed. It's like, you can swim in the ocean at your own risk.
Yeah.
You know, just know that nobody's there going to be there to help you when you're drowning. You're really taking away freedom from students at that point. You're really making them less independent than what they would be, because maybe they need it. Maybe they need to go out and get drunk a couple times, miss a couple classes, miss a test, and be like, shit, I need to step it up. And then, I just think the university's kind of contradicting itself and, you know, being WVU strong and Mountaineer strong, and everyone loves the Mountaineers. That's the coolest part about Morgantown. You come here, you have something in common with every single person in this town.
Right.
Everyone loves the luxury most universities have.
Right.
But, you know, if you start putting all these limitations on students and telling them what they can and can't do when they're not in school, how does that make the administration look?
Right.
They're like talking about, our city council's talking about shutting down all bars downtown.
Really?
Like taking the drinking scene out of downtown. Obviously, that would never happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, their ideas they're having to reduce the amount of drinking in the town are just completely out there. The precautions they're taking and trying to reduce the partying in Morgantown are just, it's becoming a point where they're almost setting goals that are unachievable. Efforts could be put elsewhere, like parking, which sucks.
Yeah.
You know, one of the first stadiums in the nation have beer on tap, and it's just like, you know, I feel like more efforts could be made giving students who don't want to drink opportunities to do fun things that don't involve, rather than trying to enforce and punish for not drinking.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows about WVU all night, except for the drunk kids that want the free food at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the only people that know about it all night.
Yeah.
So I think they could spend a little less time trying to put rules in place and mandating, you know, citations and court dates and counseling and drink alcohol classes, and focus more on, okay, let's make more opportunities for students to come and do stuff together, have fun together that doesn't involve alcohol.